The Elephant Man is my second favorite film after Cloverfield. Never have I seen a film that has just left me so emotionally drained. This movie does such a good job at showcasing the importance of empathy and the role that plays in society and how we treat the ugly people that make us uncomfortable. John Merrick, a man who in real life was stomped on by elephants, is portrayed incredibly profoundly well by the actor John Hurt, whose name is probably a reference to how John constantly gets hurt throughout this film due to his ugliness.
Boys, don't!
Now, originally I wasn't going to make a video about this film, but I felt like I had to, for one simple reason. People don't understand the movie. Now you might be asking me, what have I missed? This movie is pretty straightforward and is probably the most easy to understand of the films by David Lynch. Well, here's the difference between you and me. I'm a film student, and you're not. So I'm just more in tune with how a movie is made and what metaphors it makes. So join me, a film student, as we journey into uncovering the masterpiece that is David Lynch's Elephant Man. To begin our journey, we must start at the beginning of the film. Now, if you are a film student like me, you probably won't need to watch this video. But if you are a simple film watcher instead of a filmmaker, then I recommend you hit subscribe so that you can learn all about your favorite art house films, such as Cloverfield and the film we're talking about today, The Elephant Man. One of the best things about David Lynch's films are his characters. We always remember the iconic performances in his work, such as the one guy from Twin Peaks who spoke backwards, the bunnies in Inland Empire, and Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs. All three of these characters truly stood out and brought life to the cinema screen. I remember thinking how much I felt bad for Dr. Trees throughout The Elephant Man, and how we're meant to empathize with the amount of work he has to go through to keep John Merrick in his place. But unfortunately, John Merrick goes through a lot of bullshit throughout the film, where he gets eventually kidnapped by pirate-like men who wear hats. The first thing I'd like to talk about with The Elephant Man is the way this film plays with shadows. This film is so beautifully lit throughout, and you can really see the menacing use of lighting to really bring out the feeling of fear when the monster appears. Let me show you an example here. Truly terrifying. This is why I consider The Elephant Man to be one of my favorite horror films next to Cloverfield. Let me compare the use of shadows in the scene to how I utilize shadows in my short film that I did for film school. Now, if that made you feel uneasy, it should have, because it was a horror film, and the shadow wasn't real. I actually composited by using an image I found online, but the cat was real, and I managed to convince him to look as if the shadow was there using my hand. To be or not to be, that is the question. This quote from William Shakespeare really speaks to me when I think about The Elephant Man, 'cause to be is to be. But John Merrick unfortunately cannot be due to the way society treats him.
The trees. There's something that I've been meaning to ask you for some time now.
What's that?
Can you cure me?
No.
So that is the question. What can we do for John Merrick? There are a lot of brutal truths that can be seen throughout this cinematic masterclass of storytelling achievement. David Lynch was very smart to not give away the twist ending in which John Merrick dies in his sleep. After all, ruining an ending can ruin the whole film for everyone watching, and nobody wants to ruin a film for somebody. This is why I've chosen to include a spoiler warning for the rest of the video, in case you don't want the film ruined for you, so spoilers ahead. Around the middle of the film, John Merrick is compared to Romeo during a beautifully constructed scene in which this woman kisses him on the face to make him feel loved. Now, if you're not into the theatrical arts, you might not know how Romeo and Juliet ends. But basically, Romeo dies by suicide in a heart-wrenching sequence after realizing that his love had died. The movie ends in the same exact way, a clear parallel to Romeo and Juliet. It's literally in the text. It doesn't surprise me that David Lynch would include such brilliant details after seeing films like Twin Peaks, which is also just filled to the brim with clever details like the guy who speaks backwards. The last scene that I would love to discuss is the final shot in the film in which we see John Merrick's dream, in which his mother, who got him ran over by elephants, tells him this final line as he passes away.
Never, oh never, nothing will die. The stream flows, the wind blows, the cloud fades, the heart beats.
I think that sums up the entire movie. Thank you for watching.